Cris Pannullo returned for his 16th game on Jeopardy! He won a 15-day total of $526,544. Obligatory thumbs up. Ken Jennings' instruction was, if you're tuning in today hoping to see a great champion on an incredible streak, well, you're in luck. 15-game winner Cris Pannullo certainly made his mark very quickly here on the Alex Trebek stage. In fact, he's already reached our Jeopardy all-time top 10, what we call the leaderboard of legends, in both consecutive games and money won. And he's racking up some super champion-style stats while he's doing it. Listen, he has runaways in 13 of his first 15 games. He's responded correctly to 32 of the 35 daily doubles he's landed on so far, and he's averaging over $35,000 a game. If you've observed a little jaunty thumbs up that Cris gives while Johnny introduces him, that's exactly how Jeopardy fans are rating his performance so far. Today we welcome Michael and Zanny to join us. In this form of a popular game, some cards are dealt face up and some face down. It used to have horse in its name. The answer was stud, as in stud poker. Cris answered it, and I'm surprised Ken didn't comment on Cris's poker skills. Zanny got the first daily double. Ken told her, "You could take the lead, Zanny, and against Cris. I don't say that lightly." She made it a true daily double, got it right, and went to $4,400. Given the question, I hope Cris fans had some tissues handy. Ken asked Cris again if he has plans for his winnings. You're now above $500,000 in winnings, Cris, if you can believe it. Do you have any plans for the money? He answered, maybe at some point buy a house. I see that change from just keeping it all under his mattress. There was a question that included the word Kerouac, though I don't think it's referring to Jack, so yeah, I don't really need to add it, because I'm just... I would have mentioned Ryan's third game otherwise. Michael ended the first round winning $1,600. Cris was in second place at $5,400, and Zanny was in late at $8,600. Cris got the first daily double. He made it a true daily double, got it right, and went to $18,000.
He got both daily doubles.
Cris got the second daily double in Double Jeopardy, wagered $7,800, got it right, and went to $28,600. A wedding staple, his Canon in D major heard here, was composed around 1680, but not published until the 20th century. The answer was, who was Pachelbel? And I find it strange that the Clue crew described it as a wedding staple, especially since I heard it on the now Christmas station by this time. I don't hear how it's Christmas. And you know what, it actually does sound more like a wedding song than it does a Christmas song. Also, as you noticed, after Zanny answered Pachelbel, the only questions left on the board are the $400 questions. This invaded brutal 1069-70 campaign to bring Upper Britain under Norman control was called the Harrying of the North. The answer was William the Conqueror, who also came up in the final Jeopardy round of Game 5 in the Tournament of Champions finals. Spin to win, WOF. The answer was obviously Wheel of Fortune, which I'm surprised there was no further comment besides that's right. Because I think, aren't Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune brother and sister shows? Zanny ended Double Jeopardy winning $19,400. Michael was in second place at $5,600. And Cris barely had to run away at $39,800. Before I get to the final Jeopardy category, just look at the scores. Even if Zanny bets it all and answers correctly, she'll still only be $1,000 behind Cris. The final Jeopardy category was children's authors. The question was, reversing the story of this heroine she created, Patricia McLaughlin was born on the prairie, but spent much of her life in New England. None of the contestants answered correctly. Actually, all three contestants guessed Anne of Green Gables. This is technically the first time all three contestants get the same wrong answer since the last game of the semifinals when Matea, Eric, and Andrew all guessed what is ? Ken told Zanny she had an impressive score before her answer was revealed, and Ken told Cris he didn't seem confident in the category. This one I should mention James Holtzauer's strategy was reading children's books. I just wanted to mention that. The answer was Sarah Wheaton. From Sarah, plain and tall. She is from Maine but moved to the prairie. Cris didn't risk anything, leaving his final score at $39,800 and is at a 16-day total of $566,344. I'm surprised he didn't risk $221. He and Ryan Long are now tied for 9th place at 16 wins. The next goal is David Madden and Jason Spernieri. The overheard on set was titled, Cris Goes for the Daily Doubles. Ken told him it all came down to the daily doubles. Now were you hopping around determinedly looking for them? What's your approach there? Cris answered, a combination of things, like making sure that I'm going in, depending on the score, if I need money to go for higher ones, which categories they are, which dollar amounts there are, just like a little bit of everything. Like if I was playing someone I knew was a lawyer and there was a law category, I'd probably try to sneak that from them too. Ken told him, jumping around keeps everybody maybe a step behind you, but it's true that it also requires the player doing it to be very locked in. That's how the anecdote ends. Next up is David Madden and Jason DeFineri. Can he do it?
And as always, thank you for watching.